Welcome back, everyone. We are back at the Henson Street Hospitality House over here by Borges Hospital. I am here with Dr. Munene, our surgical oncologist. Dr. Munene, welcome. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Sam.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you inviting me to cook with you.
I am very excited. We have a really exciting, delicious recipe. The official title is the Vegetarian West African Peanut Stew with Chickpeas. So it's a long one, and there's lots of fun ingredients. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself, if you would.
So I'm a surgical oncologist at the West Michigan Cancer Center, specialize in liver pancreas surgery. And I've been in Kalamazoo now for 6 years, and I'm happy to be here.
Yay, well, we are happy to have you. So I've got the onions going already behind us, so we're gonna actually jump right in. I've got everything prepared, but we're gonna start by adding the sweet potatoes. So if you wanna grab our nice big bowl of sweet potatoes.
Let me do a little stirring first here.
A little stirring. All right, you wanna add that?
Sure.
Perfect.
So where did you get this recipe from, Sam?
This was one of those recipes that I just was poking around on Instagram, and one of the foodie type people I follow had posted it, and it looked really, really cozy and kind of creamy and delicious. So I made it for myself, and I liked it so much I figured it would be a good one to make for this series. And
so it's a good winter soup.
it is like a hug in a bowl. It's very good. Yes, it's got a little kick because there's some sriracha. Perfect. All right. And I added some salt and pepper. That's obviously just salt and pepper to taste. So we're gonna let this kind of go while the sweet potatoes soften. We can kind of talk about the rest of the ingredients over here. So we had the white onion, we had lots of sweet potato, we added some salt and pepper. Next, we're gonna add garlic and ginger. This ginger is just ready to go. I like it because you don't have to physically cut up the teeny little pieces of ginger. I think the flavor is a little bit better because it kind of gets into the soup itself a little bit better, but you can certainly use fresh ginger as well. Same thing with the garlic. The garlic is ready to go and minced. So obviously just a personal preference.
I love ginger, so I'm sure this soup is
Ooh, you're gonna really like it then. Ginger's good. Ginger's one we have not used in any of our recipes yet. That's a new ingredient for us. We've used sweet potatoes and chickpeas a couple different times. What else do we got? So we got diced tomatoes. We got some vegetable broth. We're gonna add some tomato paste here shortly. And then at the end, we add light coconut milk, chickpeas, a good portion of peanut butter,
wow,
and some sriracha. This is not a low-cal recipe, if you can't tell.
It has everything in it.
It's got all the stuff. So we will give this a couple more stirs, give it a little bit more time. Now, do you do a lot of cooking at home?
I do a lot of cooking, so I enjoy cooking. I don't make a lot of soups, but my daughter likes tomato soup, so I make a tomato bisque.
Okay, I know you had mentioned that. Yeah. You had mentioned that you wanted to do some tomato bisque with us today, so.
So during the winters, I make a lot of that. I tried to make some pumpkin soup once, didn't come out too well.
Uh-oh. Yeah. We made a pumpkin soup earlier in the series, so we did try that. All right, we are gonna add the garlic, the ginger, and the tomato paste now. So we're gonna do 2 teaspoons of ginger. So if you wanna do that for me, perfect.
I put a ton.
You put a ton?
Yeah, look at it.
That's all right.
It's gonna be a lot of ginger there.
A lot of ginger. Now, you know what they say about ginger and nausea. Do you find that to be true?
What do they say about ginger and nausea?
That it's supposed to help. It's supposed to be like a natural kind of digestive aid. And
I get the.
Thank you. And it's supposed to kind of help ease nausea.
I see. I did not know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
And your patients probably have a fair amount of nausea.
That is true. I will advise them next time to try some ginger for sure.
I know there's like ginger candies. All right, now I'm gonna add the garlic. Garlic's another one.
It's beginning to smell really good.
Really good. I like that. So it calls for 5 cloves of garlic. Garlic is one of those things I feel like you can kind of add as much or as little based on your preference. I like garlic. I think it kind of goes a long way with flavor. I'll do a teeny bit more here. Alrighty, perfect. Now you mentioned your daughter likes tomato soup.
And like summer squash is great too.
And summer squash soup.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do they help in the kitchen? How old are they?
They don't really help.
They don't help. They just eat.
They just eat.
Perfect.
They try to help, but they don't do such a great job. At least not yet.
And how old are they?
5.
5.
Yeah. But we do bake. They like baking.
Aww. And
So
they,
we
of
bake.
course, get to eat the baked goods.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
Win-win.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to add the vegetable broth. We're doing 4 cups of vegetable broth. So if you want to add that whole guy, and I will do the diced tomatoes.
Sure.
These are fire roasted diced tomatoes.
Ooh, there you go.
And this is vegetable broth, so it is a vegetarian recipe. It is dairy free because of the coconut milk. And it is not, totally allergy free because we do have the peanut butter. So anyone with like a nut allergy, this obviously wouldn't be a good option for them.
So Sam, these ingredients, are they expensive or are they kind of affordable ingredients? Are this?
So, there's a lot of cans of stuff in it, obviously. We got the chickpeas, we've got the diced tomatoes. What else do we have? The tomato paste. So there's a couple different canned goods, which is obviously gonna be a little bit more affordable than having to do fresh stuff. Peanut butter's not bad. Coconut milk might be your most expensive item here.
Okay.
And like I said, coconut milk is dairy-free. It is not terribly low-cal, and it is not a significant source of protein. So just something to keep in mind. I know all the different milk alternatives are kind of really trendy now, soy milk and almond milk and coconut milk. We cannot necessarily count on the coconut milk for protein, but we've got protein with the chickpeas and with the peanut butter, obviously.
So this is a nutrition, hearty soup that is affordable.
It is packed, yes,
Yeah.
I would say so. And now I'm gonna turn it up to high, and we are gonna let it come to a boil. We're gonna add the lid, and then we'll have it simmer for about 25 to 30 minutes, and then we will come back and see how we're doing. I will tell you, the recipe is not my own. It's from, like I said, it's from an online recipe developer. Dishing Out Health is her name. The recipe calls for 3/4 cup peanut butter. I felt like that was just a lot. So I actually have done a 1/2 cup every time I've made it, and I feel like that is a decent amount of peanut butter. You still get a good peanut butter flavor. The other thing she recommends is serving it with like a good serving of rice kind of mixed in or on top. I kind of feel like you've got all the starch and all the carbs from the potatoes. I don't know that you necessarily need rice added, but that is something that is recommended in the recipe. So something to keep in mind.
See.
So for you, questions. We have been asking all of our guests the same 3 questions just to kind of get to know you a little bit more as a provider. The first one I have for you, what is your absolute favorite food? You'd eat it, every day if you could, stranded on an island.
I like so many different foods.
I know, you gotta pick one.
Gotta pick one. What is my favorite food? I guess I could say ice cream.
Ice cream. We have had that answer.
You've had ice cream?
We have heard ice cream,
Yeah, I
but
like
now
ice
I'm gonna ask for your flavor.
Very simple. I like vanilla.
Vanilla. Okay.
That one is a simple one for me.
All right, vanilla ice cream. And what was the last thing you ate today?
I was in a meeting and they provided food from Qdoba.
Oh.
So
okay.
I had some Mexican food. I
Okay,
guess.
that is my answer to question number 1.
Mexican
food, always Mexican.
Yeah.
All right, and what is your least favorite food? You'd never make it, never ordered it?
Oh, you know what I don't like? I don't like. okra. I don't like okra.
Okra.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a good thing you weren't on our last month. We didn't do anything with okra, but we had a collard greens and a ham and
Yeah.
cornbread type of dish. So I feel like okra kind of fits in that.
I can eat it in jambalaya, but I don't like okra.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know. So, like I said, we're waiting here. It looks like we're bubbling. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on, and we'll start the timer for 25 to 30 minutes, and we will be right back. All right, so while we are waiting for the soup to finish up, we're gonna, before adding the chickpeas and the peanut butter and the coconut milk, we're just about ready to add that. I do want to ask, because I know you are originally from Kenya.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, and that's East Africa.
Correct.
And this is what we're saying is a West African soup.
Mm-hmm.
So is this at all similar to kind of your typical diet that you're familiar with, being that you're from East Africa, or not really?
I think it's different in a couple of things. Like where I'm from in Kenya, we don't have a lot of, we don't have any, we don't put peanuts in any of our soups or stews. We do make some spicy soups,
Okay.
but a lot of them are either meat-based, like chicken soup, or sometimes like, different meat-based stews.
Okay.
With a different sort of, sometimes with ginger, but more with like curry powder and all that sort of thing.
Curry,
So a little bit like, a little spicy.
Yeah, we didn't do anything with curry in this soup series, but I like
There's always next year.
There is always next year. You're
Yeah,
right.
there's always next year.
Absolutely. Now, do you do a lot with like beans for protein?
We do a lot of beans.
You
So
do.
my parents eat a ton of beans. They eat a ton of like legumes. That's pretty much what they grew up eating. So they
Really?
eat a lot of
Okay.
that.
Now, your girls, have they had
They
typical
love beans.
African food?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do have. I don't know if it's typical, but it's close.
Yeah.
Close enough. Or
Very
close-ish,
cool.
yeah.
Very, very cool. All right, so we are just about there. We're gonna take the lid off if you wanna
Get the
give it-
chickpeas, or what do you want?
Yeah, we're gonna do the chickpeas, the coconut milk, and the peanut butter. So I'll give it a stir here.
It's looking good.
It is looking good. Wonderful.
Do you puree this at the end, or you just no puree?
You don't,
Uh-huh.
but it could very well be one of those that you take out 2 or 3. Yes. Let's see here. Yeah. Why don't we do the spoon? You take out a couple cups, throw it in the blender just to add some creaminess. The coconut milk, I will tell you, will add a lot of creaminess.
I see.
So, perfect. And that will just kind of almost melt down. And then if you want to grab the coconut milk.
Yes, ma'am. I'll get the coconut milk. Go ahead.
Wonderful. Go ahead. Yes. And this is what gives it really that creamy consistency. Wonderful. And really at this point, what we're waiting for is we just kind of want that peanut butter to dissolve into the soup so we don't see chunks of peanut butter like we're still seeing here. And then obviously the sweet potatoes are nice and soft, and then we add the sriracha. Sriracha is one of those things, it's kind of going back to the garlic, the salt, the pepper, it's to taste, right? I really like spicy food, so I'm pretty generous with the sriracha. When I made this for my family, my parents, they do not like heat, so I was a little less generous and I added a little bit more after the fact to my own bowl. What about you?
I like the heat.
You like the heat. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll give it a little extra heat for our batch here. I do have it today with these naans, these like soft kind of bread pieces. I think it'd be good to dip in it. I didn't think it was a soup that necessarily needed sourdough bread or like a buttered biscuit or something, but naan seems like it might fit. So that's what I've got to leave here for the guests of the hospitality house. All right. So I'm going to leave you to do the sriracha.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm going to task you with that, knowing that we are leaving it here
Not
for
for us,
other
it's
people.
not for us.
It's
Okay.
not just for us.
Yeah. I'll just put a little drop. How
We'll
about that?
do a little squeeze, maybe a little bit more. That's good.
Okay.
Perfect. Give it a good stir. All right. And we will let all the flavors come together, and we'll give it a try here. Perfect. Wonderful. All right. So we are ready to go.
Yay.
We're gonna give it a shot
I'm
here.
excited.
Good. I was telling, oops, premature. I have actually made this soup on multiple occasions because I do like this so much. So hopefully you like it as well. Maybe this can be one you
Make it home.
make it home with
Yeah.
your daughters. All right. You'll have to let me know what you think in terms of the spiciness of it.
Sounds good.
Right. Okay.
It is very good. Wow, it is very good. It's great, actually.
Very good.
Yeah,
You love it.
I love it.
I love that. You can also garnish with some crushed peanuts, you know, if you want that extra peanut flavor. Okay. So wonderful. That is our soup, and that is our soup series for the West Michigan Cancer Center. As always, thank you to the Henson Street Hospitality House for the hospitality. Thank you, Dr. Munene.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Sam.
For being with us today. And as a reminder, like and subscribe to our channel.
Very good.
Yay, I'm so glad. We will include the link for the recipe below. And we hope to see you next year for a similar series. Thank you.
Thank you.